So Falcons has bought another star in Kiosuke, and they still can't win a tournament. So what's the problem? Let's talk about it.
Falcons may be the fastest bird on earth, and they are eliminated in record time.
Nano's been doing everything he can. Is there a way back in? Nico's gone! Only matches! I can't believe it!
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Inferno, we lost 5-3 in the end. That should have... we should have won, yeah, even though it was a close game and it was tough.
Falcons, they came into CS pretty early on, even at a time that I forgot. They ended up eventually getting a bunch of French players that had kind of, very famous players, but they're not hitting as hard as they used to. They tried to buy their way in the top 5 with Ents, and that core combined with then bringing in Zonic and Magisk after just winning the major seemed like it could be a good pairing. That completely fell flat. And then instead of just saying, you know what, this isn't working, they said, let's go big or go home. They went and got Nico. And then finally you're like, okay, they have Nico, now what? Combined with Zonic, this should be really good. And then they brought in Kixin, and they have Tess's, and then they have Magisk. And they were even able to get Monacy. But funny enough, with Dexter, they had their best placing. And then once they got Monacy, they couldn't win the big one. And that was right in the window. It was really early on. That early honeymoon where everything just looks like it should work for Falcons with how star-studded they are, and they just fell flat. They couldn't get over the Vitality hump. And you're just sitting there thinking, like, what more does it take for this Falcons roster to be good? You have Zonic, who's supposed to be, the best coach or one of the best coaches. You have Nico, who's basically always or supposed to be in the greatest rifler of all time conversation. You have Monacy, who's gonna, we all expect to be there with the op conversation. All these things going for you. It looks like after there's that Vitality loss on Nuke where they allowed Vitality back in the game, it fell flat, and it just seems like there's nowhere to go after that. Now, fast forward, they've now signed Kiosuke, and at EWC, it seems like they had somewhat better results, but that format is incredibly weak. And yeah, they got a win versus Vitality, but not in a game that truly matters. And I'm not even trying to take away, but that game just shouldn't really be looked at in some sort of like, look, they can actually beat Vitality because the stakes weren't there. The circumstances didn't fit. They got 2-0'd by Aurora. That's not the point of the roster. that's just not that should not be the goal with the players that you have. That shouldn't be what is celebrated in any way when you have a team that is this star-studded. Basically, what I want to talk about is what I just think is going wrong. And where I think the blame should fall. It's not even to sit here and come after people. It's just interesting to see a team have so many successful players and such individual talent and feel like somehow it all gets muted in this team in different ways and at different times. And it's hard not to look at the common denominators here. And the main one to me is Zonic. I've never been on a team with Zonic. I think that evaluating coaches outside looking in is incredibly difficult. However, when you have a coach that has been with this roster for the extended amount of time that Zonic has been with this roster, and the amount of things that we keep hearing where basically it's become a meme, just one more star, just need one more person to be able to drop a 1.6 so that way we can consistently win. That just seems like a ridiculous cop-out. That to me is where it starts. I know some people want to lean to Nico, and I do think that Nico's performance, especially this year, has been incredibly disappointing. And in that best of 5 that they had, he was slacking, seriously slacking. And I'm sure by his own standards, he was. I'm not even in this scenario asking them to be winning every single tournament like Vitality did, but you should at least be in the conversation to be the favorite. And they're not even that anymore, at least to me. I cannot say with the start of a tournament, yeah, Falcons is for sure the favorite to win this one. I think that they'll make playoffs, but with the amount of resources that have been put into the team, it's pretty embarrassing, honestly. Like, I don't know how people are like just letting this one wash away. I think the fact that people like Nico and Monacy so much are exactly why they're not almost demanding more. Everybody laughs at them and likes, the hate watching and stuff like that. But it's gotten to the point where it's almost sad because people don't expect them to be winning these tournaments. And it's just so crazy to me because I feel like in this roster, if this continues, Nico's not going to get his major. Now, what I think really has caused a lot of these problems, funny enough, is the acquisition of all the players that they're going after. I think people compare them a lot to a lot of other teams, and when you look at the blueprint, which to me, I don't care about the current results right now. In CS2, the team that has had the best run is Vitality. Sure, Vitality has incredible stars. Zaiwu is one of, if not the best player in the world, and you can talk about it. You can argue about him or Donk all you want, but point is, he's in that conversation. He is number 1, number 2, number 3, whatever. It's top 3 in the world. But they have like a supporting cast, and most importantly, they have an identity. And that is where I always feel like people undervalues in a team. If you isolated a couple of the players on the Vitality roster, you might be able to say there's players better than them in their positions. And that to me is the interesting part of Vitality, is because they had their identity, they had the way they wanted to play, and they got the exact stars aligned by getting ROPS falling right in their lap. That is the difference of Vitality, is they were a composed team, and that is what made Vitality so good, is they got the perfect Tetris piece. They built up the Tetris board perfectly, and they finally got the one long vertical piece to just have it all come tumbling down, and they went on the most insane streak we've had so far in CS2. I don't even know if it could be touched. Meanwhile, Falcons is over here buying up every superstar they can get their hands on, and they lose the Vitality, and then they bombed at the major, and they ended up losing to MIBR. That's right. Never forget, Inferno B bomb site retake in that spectacular fashion. So what to me has to happen for Falcons to actually take that step where they're really going to be a world contender? To me, as much as it's a joke and it's been memed about the entire time, I think Nico has to IGL. I can't believe I'm saying this, but that's how I feel. They need to get a different coach that will help Nico IGL and build a system, because I don't think Nico is going to struggle at all in the middle of rounds, in the thick of it, being with the group. I don't think he has any issues breaking down any team he's playing in any situation. The thing that'll be tough for him is just building up like an actual system to where he no longer has to micromanage every single minute detail, and he needs a coach that can support that. Zonic has proven to me, outside looking in, with me not knowing what goes on internally, this is from an outside perspective, he's not able to do it.
I don't know. I just feel like last round was obviously a bit unlucky, but
What?
yeah.
Then you should I call something?
No, I'm just thinking.
For as long as this team has been there, he has been the coach, and this team feels like it has no identity besides the fact that it's supposed to just shoot really hard. I think it's safe to say that this method has not worked so far. Yeah, it might be time for a new coach and to actually have Nico IGL. He's actually mentioned he'd like to do it. I think that he's been a little wishy-washy on his own individual form, and it's not to say that he's completely washed and that he should IGL and just like, you know, not focus on being the star that he is. More so, I think that he makes so many mid-round adjustments and he already calls so much as is that he should just take the role, but he needs a coach that can actually support the burden of all the extra pressure and expectations and things that come along with IGLing. I think Kyosuke can be the future star rifler of this Falcons team, not Nico. With Monacy, they have the star hopper. And with Tess's, I think he's a perfect glue guy. I do not think that Kixon is a bad IGL. I think that this move will just free up Falcons to get another star player if they want to and fulfill the meme. But also, I think it is the next logical step for Nico with how much say and where his game sense is at, how the position that he likes to play, the way he likes to move in the rounds. It seems like you're almost hindering him by not putting him in that role and excelling him in that role. That to me is the future of Nico and his career, and I think that would actually give him the best place for him to win his major that has eluded him his entire career. I think Zonic really has to seriously be looked at and just wonder what is going on, why you have every single thing you could possibly want on this roster and it feels like it's somehow not improving, if not maybe regressing and getting worse. In the comments below, let me know if you think I'm absolutely insane or if you think this is what Falcons should do to actually take the next step forward. Do you think Nico IGL is the solution, or do you think I'm absolutely insane? It's completely valid if you think I'm crazy. Just let me know in the comments below. That'll be great for the engagement. If you guys enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoy these kind of rants and just off-the-cuff stuff, we also have another channel, Flom Clips and Highlights. Make sure you subscribe there as well and check it out. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.